know it's going to take time for everybody to catch on. So we're just doing these regular meetings. As many people who want to come pick it up, Matt's got some real goodies for you that you get to take away. So I'll just jump right in, and I would just also front load that we probably only need about 30 minutes of your time, even though this is scheduled for an hour. We probably won't use that much unless you all need it. But I am Dr. B. I am here as the Deputy Director of Community Engagement and Innovation here at NHSA, and very excited to continue sharing with the field the digital portfolio that NHSA adopted almost a year ago and has been sharing with the community. One of the things that we noticed as we've been sharing it is it's a little bit of a learning curve. And so our purpose today, we decided to kind of change our webinars from these big overarching information sessions to hands-on. This is going to be you all digging in, getting to know what this looks like, and then hopefully going out and sharing it with all the people you know in your community, so that everybody can start to become part of what I think is a real game changer for the field in terms of creating professionalism around the work that we do at Early Head Start and Head Start. Digital badging, digital certifications are really the wave of the future. I think I'm talking about something now that folks have said to me, oh, we're not ready for it. Head Start people aren't going to want to do digital badging. And I've kind of ignored those comments and just plowed ahead. I think probably in a year, none of us, this isn't going to sound very cutting edge, because I think it's just going to be the way things are, maybe 2 years, but we'll have been ahead of the curve, which I love. And we can lead the charge in early childhood. This is not what early childhood is doing right now, but I think they will be. And Head Start and Early Head Start can be ahead of the game through NHSA. And the idea here may sound insignificant. What does it matter how I get my certificate? I go to an event, you can send me a PDF, you can give me a piece of paper that I upload. What does it really matter? Well, it matters because digital badging and digital certifications are built on blockchain. And without getting too technical, what that means is they are secured documents that cannot be altered, and they are authenticated digitally, which means they have a higher level of authenticity than anything else you can get from a completed event. So someone can send you a PDF, and it can be an acceptable form of completion, but it is not an authenticated document. And that's a really big deal for professionals, because the beauty of the digital portfolio is that it belongs to the individual, not to the organization. NHSA is giving these to our staff across the country, and we do not hold the keys to the kingdom here. They belong to the professional. And we think that's really important, because we are trying to build a professional pathway for early childhood, specifically in the area of Head Start. And to do that, we have to treat ourselves and our people like professionals. And to me, this is a really easy way to start doing that. So that being said, we are used to getting pieces of paper or PDFs. And so the learning curve on this has been a little bit steep. And we've noticed the uptake has been okay, but not where I want to see it. I want to see tens of thousands of our staff opening their portfolios and using them. The other huge benefit to the digital presentation, whether it's a badge or certificate, is that it's shareable on social media, which we think is really important. We think we should be bragging about all the great things we're doing. Whether you go to a conference, complete a webinar, complete a whole course, get a CDA, these are all things that help to build your professional profile online, and particularly LinkedIn. I know a lot of folks are on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter, and you can share it on all of those social media platforms. But I personally think getting our professionals plugged into LinkedIn is really great, because that's where people go now to look for jobs and to vet people when they're building their professional pathway. So without further delay, I'm going to turn it over to the guru of all things digital portfolio, and that is my friend Matt here. And he's got a short sort of presentation for you, and then he's really going to give you a party favor. You get to take something home with you today. So Matt, take it away.
Sounds good, Dr. B. Thank you so much. And thank you to everyone who's made the time to be here. I think this is going to be really resourceful and insightful, and a really awesome resource to have at your and your staff's disposal. It's really, really awesome that we can have this for you guys. So quick run through of the agenda today. I'm going to walk you through the experience of receiving a digital portfolio certificate, utilizing it, and how to change and update settings. I'm going to address the top most frequent questions or issues we hear folks run into when trying to work with their digital portfolio, how to publish your very own certificate, commemorating attendance to this very webinar, and we'll get into that in a little bit, and open the floor to general Q&A. We have time for your burning questions about it. So let's go ahead and jump right in. And I'm going to go ahead and start sharing my screen. Hold on one moment, and I will show you. Can everybody see my screen okay? It looks like Gmail. All good? Perfect. So for starters, it really starts with, again, of course, after you've attended an event, a webinar, a conference, anything that we're doing out there that has professional development hours and such, you're going to get a certificate type of email, and it's really going to be a notification. So you're going to see something similar to this, really clean and simple, just a quick heads up and saying, thank you for attending that. You can now share or download your certificate. There's a couple of instructions down here. I'll let you read through that as you see them. But the biggest thing, of course, is to click the button or copy and paste this link down here, either way, to go ahead and view your certificate. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. And what you're going to see is the rendering of, in fact, this very certificate for this very webinar, which everyone actually, as Dr. B was talking, you should have that same copy of the email I just showed you in your inboxes. And I don't want to distract you too much from that, but just so you know, for later, when we get to that point, maybe you can go in, kind of walk through it yourself. And if you have any questions at the end, you're running into some weird issues after we've gone over the common questions, we can do that in real time. So you're going to see something like this. It's going to have your name. It's going to have the event. It's going to tell you something, how many hours of professional development. It might have a date that it was issued. The designs are going to be a little bit different depending on what event and conference you went to, but this is generally the idea of what it's going to look like. This is a digital certificate that you can utilize in a multitude of ways. Just so you know, that the email I received, I'm going to go back just real briefly. This is really important. It's going to be coming from badges@nhsa.org. That's where you're going to receive this copy of the email for the certificate we're talking about. One other email it might come from is academy@nhsa.org, or something similar. But really, the idea is that you want to make sure that you or your IT and your email settings allow emails from us to make sure you're receiving these. I'm going to go into a little bit later as to why these are just notification emails. It's going to really start building an account that you're going to be able to access once you set up an account with our badge and certificate provider, Accreditable. But just so you know, if you're not receiving those emails, try looking for nhsa.org in your spam or junk folder, and we're going to go into that in a little bit. But just so you know, early on, start looking for those email notifications. All right. So you click in here, and you notice that you're seeing the certificate up here, but then you kind of scroll down, you get to see a few options. Now, I'm going to start from the left to the right really quick. You can download this certificate as a PDF, and that's totally fine. It's just going to give you a file. Now, you're more than welcome to, download this and maybe print it physically on your end. That's totally fine. But of course, that's, as we all know, that only goes so far. It only goes so far as your office or your building or your desk, right, of showing off your achievements. That's why there's a beauty of this digital portfolio, is that you can do so much more. You can share this credential via email really simply, because they're going to get a copy of this link and see what you're seeing to show things off. And there's a ton more options you can do. If you have any issues, you can contact us or get more information here, or click the help button. Going to the right, that's where we really want you guys to kind of gravitate to right away, is sharing your credential. That's the coolest part about this, I think, is that you get to share this through social media. So Facebook, Twitter, WhatsApp. If you're into WhatsApp, and LinkedIn is the biggest one, I would say, arguably. And there's a bunch more options that you probably don't even recognize, probably, a good half of some of the names here, but that's fine. If you do, that's cool. You can search for a name if you feel like there's a cool social media you can share that with. But the biggest thing, as you can see with this button, is adding to your LinkedIn profile. So when you click that, it's going to give you this kind of pop-up, and you can do this in a multitude of ways. The biggest thing I would recommend is click this LinkedIn button, and it's to add it to your profile. It's going to, of course, take you to your LinkedIn login. You're going to log in, and you're going to allow it to add it to your profile. And it's going to port in a lot of details there that you can edit if you would like. But the biggest thing is that it's going to go ahead and share this direct link with the credential in LinkedIn itself. So you can start building this nice portfolio even on LinkedIn with your accreditations. So highly recommend that, of course. And of course, after you do that, go ahead and click that LinkedIn share button as well. You want to show off all your hard work. And of course, if you want to just share a direct link in any other way, you have this button here to copy the direct link. Okay. So scrolling down a little bit, you'll see some more information. You got the description of what's going on here. It shows a little bit of the skills and knowledge you're learning. This can have a multitude of things depending on what you attended. That's another quick way of showing someone kind of the just bullet points of what you learned within a particular event, and a few other sort of helpful things, verifying the credential, and going back to the course page in a lot of ways to kind of verify that this is legit, right? But one thing I want to do is I want to go into my profile. Now, the biggest thing, and again, we can go into this a little bit later too, you're going to want to click the button that says, sign in to access more options, or in particular, and it doesn't show it for me because I already set up my account, but it's going to give you these prompts that are it's hard to miss. It's going to say, you have this certificate and it's yours, but you really want to set up an account for this. You really want to go ahead and set up a login, an email and a password, because it's going to start aggregating all the different credentials and badges that you've earned into one account based on your email address, and it's going to be yours. So I'm going to go into my account, and I'm going to show you a couple ways to, once you set up your account, to really make it yours. So once, this is what you'll see when you log in, right? You have the wallet, and it's called the wallet here, and it shows you just kind of based on these little cards or tiles, all the things that you've earned. This is the very certificate that we were going over earlier. This is the National Head Start Conference that we just had here in May. So for those who were able to attend us there and be with us there in Phoenix, Arizona, a couple of weeks back, you should actually have one of these in your portfolio already. So keep that in mind. It'll automatically go to your account, and you can see that. And there's a few other ones that you'll start seeing. So again, once you set up your account and you log in, you'll get to see all these different things. And when you get those emails and you have attended an event, and let's say for whatever reason, you're just not seeing an email for some reason saying you earned a certificate, just log in here and double check and make sure it populated, because it just, for whatever reason, you might not have gotten the email. But if you set up an account, it's already ahead of you. It's already assigned. Okay. So,
and one thing I would just insert here for everybody to understand is, it isn't limited just to digital certificates. I assume the world is going to head in that direction, and at some point you're not going to get email PDFs anymore or whatever, but you can upload paper certificates to this as well. They're just not verified, and they're not shareable the way these are because they're not digital. But like I uploaded in my portfolio, I uploaded my transcript. So my university transcript is in my portfolio. It's not an official transcript because it's not digital, but it's there. So anything you do, you can create. In other words, this can be the single holding point for everything you do. And then it's really easy to share the link with your HR person or whoever your supervisor is to say, look, I did all the things you told me I needed to do. So let's say your CPR is done by the Red Cross down the street and they give you a piece of paper. You can upload it into here.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. Yeah, and again, Credible is really a platform for everybody, right? This isn't just exclusive to us, even though that's our provider for these. Yeah, you can use it however you like, because it's going to be your account. And when one thing I actually recommend is when you are setting up an account, you can sign up with your work email, and that's totally fine and reasonable, and most people do that. But I highly recommend that you go into the settings and you set a second email. That could be, of course, a personal email. And for whatever reason, something happens where you can't, you don't have access to that email anymore. You have that personal email as a fallback, just in case you need to recover your account. And you can get all those credentials that you earned from your previous, experiences, your previous work history, all that good stuff. Again, these are all yours to keep. Okay. Now let's see. I'm going to go through my notes here. I may have mentioned this before, but I want to let you guys know as well. Again, in order to log into your account, it's going to be there's multiple ways. And again, once you get the notification to access your credential, it's going to be the same sort of login, or it's going to give you the link. But one bookmark that I would recommend that you guys have is certificates.nhsa.org. Super simple, but again, it's a way that you guys can sort of have this bookmark. And we'll go here really quickly. You'll see the Academy has their own department here. This the sort of group, if you will, the certification issuer that you can log in with. So you'll see the familiar logo and everything, and you go ahead and click sign in to be able to get in to your account. Okay. So I'm going to leave that at this for now, but I'm going to go ahead and go back. So yeah, please make sure to bookmark certificates.nhsa.org. And you're going to want to go ahead and sign in there. And again, one quick thing is you're going to go into your account settings and you're going to click under your name, and you're going to go ahead and you can change your primary linked emails. It's really simple for you to go in and double check that. And again, just link your personal email, and just to make sure you're getting access to all of that at any time. So that's really it in a nutshell, guys. I mean, I really respect your time and everything, and I don't want to take up too much of it. But I'm going to jump right into the frequently asked questions or issues that we sort of experience. I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing my screen just real quick, so that and again, I can reshare it if we need to. So the first one we get a lot. Again, I'm not seeing the invite emails. That's what we receive, right? Again, make sure you're checking your spam and junk folders. It's going to be coming from either badges@nhsa.org or academy@nhsa.org. It sort of depends, and just the short of it is that it really depends on if you're going to an academy-based event or webinar with a certificate in tow. Obviously, any of the courses or the trainings that you get from Academy, that's where you're going to, academy@nhsa.org is that email notification. For everything else, when it comes to conferences, when it comes to other miscellaneous webinars with professional development, that isn't necessarily Academy related, it's going to be coming from badges@nhsa.org. Just a little detail that you can search when you're looking for stuff in your inbox and stuff.
And Matt, for today, you sent them today's certificate through the email that they used to register for today's webinar, correct?
Yes. Yep.
Okay, so Liz has a question about the Phoenix conference not being in her portfolio. Liz, my question for you would be, is it possible that your registration for the Phoenix conference is under a different email? Because this is 100% email driven. And you don't want to have different portfolio accounts. You want one. So we want to merge them in whichever direction makes the most sense. And then what I will say is, let's say you're working right now under your current ABC Head Start email account, D Bergeron at ABC Head Start. And then I go work for a different Head Start organization. The only thing I need to do is go into my account and update the email, and everything will move. And if you were to move and forget to do that, NHSA can always do that for you, because we're always going to be the holder of your original portfolio, not the holder, but we'll have access to it to help you with that if you need it. So I would love for Liz to figure that out, to know if maybe that's the reason you're
definitely not it, because
no, should be the same email. So then we need to investigate that for you. That we want to do that. That's the purpose of this sort of hands-on kind of an approach. We want to work through those kinks so that you can get it and really start rock and rolling and using it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And Liz, and everybody, we're here for you. So I was just going to say, if all else fails, you know, you've talked to your IT and for whatever reason, they're saying, no, you should be getting emails from nhsa.org and all that stuff. If all else fails, you know, reach out to us at, and we'll put this in the chat here, academy@nhsa.org. Or if you attended an event like a conference, just like this, you can email Academy. We'll forward it to the right person. Or you can email events@nhsa.org.
So for her question though, Matt, Liz, are you able to get into your account for today's certificate, and you're seeing that in there, or badge?
One from today, and I got one from a different thing has been built.
Okay, so that's your account. So what Matt can do for you is, under your email, we'll go look at the registration for NAT, and we'll figure out where your NAT badge is. We could do that for her, right? We can figure out, why did her NAT badge not get automatically loaded? I'm gonna
100%.
guess it's an email issue, is just my gut. And there may be a glitch on our end on that, but we'll figure it out for you.
Exactly. It's sometimes it's just really little things that, for whatever reason, you know, when we did the import after the conference, something weird happened where there was a space in your, you know, when you typed in your email. So, you know, just really little things that otherwise it's fine and we wouldn't notice, but we just have to work that out. But yeah, we appreciate you letting us know of that issue. And right after this, I'll dive in and I'm going to go ahead and note your name down actually too, Liz.
And I'll answer Claudia's question. Claudia's
Sure.
a forward thinker. She is way ahead of us. So she's saying, so my login for the portfolio is different than the Academy. So here's the thing. Yes, but not for long. Our wonderful Tim is working with me. I said, Tim, we got to do a single sign-on. I brought so many pieces of technology to NHSA. Everyone's going to have like a million different things. So we're working on getting a single sign-on, whereas an NHSA member, you're going to register, you log in, and all of the beautiful things will be behind that wall. Give us some time for that. In the meantime, yes, it is a different thing. The one thing I can say though, is if you bookmark it, you will only have to click on you're not gonna have to sign in every time. It will remember who you are. So it's not too hard, but we are really, you're a forward thinker, because that's exactly where we need to be. We need to have something where you come to NHSA, and even things like Starling Minds, our mental fitness. I don't know if you've used that program. It's a wonderful program, but again, you have to set up a separate login for that, because these are all different platforms that we're using, and we're going to pull them all together and try to get something going on that. But thank you for your patience while we work to make that happen.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's really exciting. Just the easier we can get everybody in and signed in, and you don't have to juggle multiple passwords and all that stuff, the better, right? That's for everything, obviously. Jumping actually that and thank you everybody for putting in these questions. It's actually jumping down our list here of frequent, you know, the common questions that we get, or the common issues that folks run into. One that we might have touched on earlier, but want to kind of reiterate, is quote, you know, I no longer have access to the email address tied to my account. Or, you know, my work email has changed, or a new job, they're no longer letting, you know, forwarding emails to me and all that stuff. What do I do? And that's a very, again, that's a very sticky situation, unfortunately. And it's always kind of unfortunate when you know, your former work or anything like that, that you got these, you know, certificates earned from, and you have your account set up and everything, but you just don't have access to that email to be able to log in anymore. for whatever reason. And it's unfortunate, but it's really easy. Again, once you reach out to us through our help desk, again, just by simply emailing academy@nhsa.org or events@nhsa.org, we can get that sorted for you real easy. We can go in and we can change that email to whatever you'd like, no problem. It's, we want to make sure it's as easy as possible for you guys to get that access back, because it is ultimately your credentials and what you've earned. So, and one final sort of fun one, again, I touched on this earlier too. How do I print my certificate to hang on the wall or put on my desk or anything like that? Again, even though we highly recommend that you're posting on LinkedIn and you're sharing on social and you're really utilizing the digital shareability of all this, and you can save time and money, of course, not having to buy that nice certificate holder or anything like that printed out. If you insist, you go into your account and you click that PDF option to download the PDF, and from there it's up to you. You can take that to a printer and have them printed on nice paper, and etc. But that's the best sort of we can do to meet you in the middle there on a digital tool is give you the PDF file, and if you want to show it off physically, you can absolutely do that. You do have that option, but again, utilize sharing it digitally is going to get more eyes on it for sure, right? And of course, we can't guarantee the unique printer situation that you get yourself into. And as we all know, printers can be just really unreliable and a mixed bag on what you're going to get into there. So yeah, that ends sort of our top 5 most frequently asked questions and issues. One other thing that we're going to post in the chat, if we haven't already, general support page to bookmark. This is another good bookmark page to have. You have it there, the general support page. This is a nice page that the folks at Accredible, our digital portfolio provider, has made to guide you and really to guide us through how do we handle some of these common issues. I took a look through it myself just to make sure I didn't miss anything, and to again support you guys as much as possible. And I wanted to share this with you because it's easy to read. You can go through it and kind of solve your own problem, the own issues and technical issues on your end, with having to draft us an email if you don't want to. So I wanted to make sure you guys had a link to that as well. So in the chat that says general support page to bookmark, that's the one I would recommend bookmarking as well.
And I would say too, I put this in there earlier, you're going to get this recording. I would love it if all of you would go back and share this with your staff, whether you do it during an after school PD or pre-service in the summer, whatever, just to try to, I think the way this will catch on is peer-to-peer sort of support, just like Facebook. I mean, when you think about when Facebook first started, people didn't know how to use it. We helped each other use it. We all learned how to use it. It's kind of the same thing. And so that resource is another good one for that. And I thought I would also just mention here, we've got our Early Head Start Rising webinar series coming up. And we're going to have for all of those webinars delivered. So that's another good way to build your portfolio.
Yeah. Oh yeah. As Dr. B can attest, there's so many upcoming opportunities that you can start building everything. So keep a lookout for those emails that we're sending out, letting you know about all the great things we're doing with Academy. Get ready for all the conferences that we have planned for the rest of the year. Go to our events page on the NHSA.org website, and for any of those webinars and events that are professional development oriented, you're going to get a copy of a certificate for those as well, even if they're just an hour. Again, just attend them if you can, and that's a quick way to start building them up, even if it's smaller stuff. Those are most of not all, but most of those webinars are free, so it's a great way to start building your stuff.
And obviously anything you do at the Academy at NHSA will also be delivered the same way. So as you do required PD, those are all authenticated with the number of hours and that kind of thing. So we appreciate you joining us today. Look for the follow-up email. If you have any other questions, you know where to find us. We're always available. I will set you up with CDA. When a staff is in CDA, I'm not getting responses. Yes, let me help you with that, Vicky. I'll get you connected once we get off this call.
Okay.
No problem.
Awesome. Well, great. Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you, Dr. B. And looking forward to seeing everyone share their stuff on social media, on LinkedIn. Always feel free, I don't think I said this before, but feel free to look me up on LinkedIn and add me, and we can connect. And but again, if you do that, I'm going to be looking for those sharing your credentials. I'm going to be looking for those. So yeah, thank you, everybody.
Thanks,
And again,
everybody.
yeah, reach out to us if you have any questions.